Associates. Kimley Horn has been here in Ocala for about 25 years. We work on various residential, commercial, government projects. We're civil engineers and planners. And we're here tonight to conduct a neighborhood meeting for a project called Mockingbird Ridge. So in the back are a couple of my engineers, Brad and Tom. We also have our client's attorney, Mr. Roberts of Klein & Klein in the back, and Sherry Bishop. All these people are here tonight to answer any questions that you have about the upcoming project. So the city of Ocala requires that for certain types of applications, and we are going to be applying for a zoning master plan, that we conduct a neighborhood meeting. And we send out invites to everyone within a certain radius. This is a great thing that the city does for the residents. They're trying to make sure that everybody kind of knows what's coming a little before they get the notice of the city council meeting, which is down the road for us. So tonight we're going to conduct that meeting. We're going to tell you a little bit about the project, where we're at on the project, what's coming, and what we still need to go through on the project. We'll take a few questions. But if you want to have a real detailed discussion, I have the professionals here who can go to the maps and kind of show you anything that you would like to know about the site. So our client is the Boyd Group, Boyd Development. If you've been around Ocala, you may know of this development group. They've been here for about 30 years. They've developed numerous projects in and around Ocala. Here's a picture of a few of the projects that they've done. Boyd Development did Bell Chase, JB Ranch, those are the townhomes across from City Hall. I've personally been working for Boyd Development for the last 20 years. They are a really straightforward local developer, and they will be the developer on this project, which we're calling, of course, Mockingbird Ridge. So here's where we are. Mockingbird Ridge will be the land within Heathbrook that is generally from 66th Street up to the development that's going on in the Ridge, over to I-75, and out to Tartan Road. This is land that has been within the Heathbrook development plans for a long time, and this is land that is proposed for residential development. You can see some of the neighborhoods that we're around. Up on our north side, we're going to be up against the Ridge and Grove. Kind of on the southwest side, we're up against 61st Street Road with Heathbrook Preserve on the other side. And then south of 66th, of course, Winding Oaks is building a lot of homes down there and well into construction. Okay, get into the weeds for just a second. So Heathbrook has an approved master plan. Heathbrook is actually an approved project that's called a Development of Regional Impact, DRI. And Heathbrook itself has been around for a long time, at least 20 years, probably more, early 2000s. And a DRI is what people do when they develop a project that needs a long-term development plan, needs to have the different impacts that development is going to have on the surrounding areas evaluated as a whole, instead of piece by piece by piece. So that DRI has been approved for a long time. Also, Heathbrook has an approved PUD, Planned Unit Development Master Plan, within the city of Ocala. So after you have the DRI approval, they've gone through local approvals to have an approved master plan with the city. This project is inside that master plan, and you can see it there inside the red area. It is planned in the DRI and in the master plan for a maximum of 592 homes. And so what we're here tonight to start the process on is the final zoning site plan. It's called a PD zoning site plan. And that's what requires this neighborhood meeting that we're here for tonight. So we are not at the stage where we have figured out where every single lot is going to go or where every street is going to go, but we are now looking at how is this property going to access the land around it, what are its buffers going to be, what types of lot sizes are we going to have, what types of uses are we going to have. Some of you may have seen this, maybe not, but this is the Heathbrook Landscape Guidelines and Architectural Guidelines. This is an old document. It's kind of tried and true. It's been around for a long time. This is the document that really is the reason why all of the fences along the roadways look the same, and all of the landscape buffers have a lot of trees and shrubs inside them. It also lays out some minimum guidelines for some of the buildings inside Heathbrook. We are going to be required to, and we will gladly comply with, these guidelines. So what this says to other residents of Heathbrook is, this neighborhood is going to be required to meet the same standards as the other neighborhoods inside Heathbrook, so that it is consistent, cohesive inside of the DRI. So here is a little bit more detailed look about what kind of access and what kind of interaction we're going to have. So one thing about this particular property is 49th Avenue, if you've seen it out there, is under construction in this area. So 49th Avenue is going to go through this Mockingbird Ridge portion of the PUD. 49th Avenue is a Marion County project. It's not a project that we're building, although our property owner is providing the right-of-way for the project. It's been a project that's been on the books for a long time. 49th Avenue has been extended pretty much from Marion Oaks all the way up to this location. This is kind of the last piece. So under construction today, it'll be a 4-lane divided roadway with a median. Median cuts every so often for access. There'll be a traffic signal constructed at 66th Street and 49th. And another traffic signal, not part of this project, but up on the flyover, where the flyover goes over I-75 and comes down behind Berkshire Oaks. This project will access 49th Avenue in 3 places. So that has been coordinated with Marion County. There's going to be 2 full and 1 restricted median cut placed on 49th Avenue. And it will also access Tartan Road, which is the main interior road inside Heathbrook on the west side. It does not access any of the other neighborhoods around it, so it does not access the ridge to the north. It cannot access 61st Street Road to the south, because 61st Street Road is a private road behind a gate. It is not a public street. So our access points are going to be to Tartan Road and to 49th Avenue. What is proposed is single-family residential homes. So maximum of 592 single-family homes on a 50-foot. There will be varying lot sizes most likely, but the minimum size will be 50 feet by about 120 feet deep. So on that type of lot, you could expect a typical 3-bedroom, 2-bath house, 2-car garage, maybe a pool on the back. It'll be dependent upon whoever purchases the property, but the same kind of architectural standards that are required by the Heathbrook design guidelines, which I showed you earlier, will be applied to this property. We don't have the layout of where every house is going to be. We're not at that stage right now. But this is what the minimum lot size is going to be on the project. We are going to be providing buffers around the outside of the property. So going back to our picture here, along Tartan Road and along 49th Avenue Road, we are required to do the now classic Heathbrook buffer with the white X fence and the stone columns every so often. That'll be along the 2 main roadways. So that way, as you're driving down Tartan Road, our frontage looks just like the frontage of all the other projects on Tartan. And this will be along 49th Avenue also, which is going to really create kind of a nice section of 49th Avenue, where it has an upgraded look to it, because now you're in Heathbrook and you're required to do those buffers. Around the rest of the project, where we're not up against those main roadways, we are going to be providing a 25-foot wide landscape buffer with a small berm on it, which is required by the Heathbrook design guidelines that I showed you before. So 2 types of buffers, either 25 feet or 35 feet. And if we're along those roadways, Tartan or 49th, it's the fence, the Heathbrook fence. If I could call it that, I don't know if it has a name, but I'll call it the Heathbrook fence. So that'll be placed in those locations. These are pictures, if you live in Heathbrook or if you shop there often, these pictures are just straight from the project. Heathbrook has turned into a very attractive, well-groomed, nicely grown-in subdivision. And so we'll be able to tie our project in with what's already out there using these buffers. Our project is going to have an amenity. Early stages, we don't know exactly what's going to be in it. It'll likely be towards the middle of the project. Think pool with clubhouse building, maybe some sport courts, some outdoor areas. That's so that these residents don't have to occupy some other park area. They have a park area that's inside their community so that they can recreate in there. We'll be able to show more details about this to the city when we go through our permitting processes, but we are planning an amenity. So as I said before, we're here tonight for a neighborhood meeting to get ready to file our final zoning master plan. But we're still early in the stages of being able to construct anything on the project. So after tonight, we will file this plan with the City of Ocala staff. They will review and question the application, make sure that it is consistent with everything that needs to be documented for both the city rules and Heathbrook rules. Then we will go to 2 public hearings. Those public hearings will be advertised. There will be one at Planning and Zoning, and there'll be one at City Council. At City Council, we'll be asking Council to approve the master plan. Assuming that they do approve the master plan, we will move into design of construction plans for roads and landscaping and lights and things like that. We don't have an exact start date. Our client would very much like to start building this project in 2026. So we think that we would be able to come out of the ground with some kind of construction sometime next year. Maybe around the summer of next year, we're not really sure. It depends on how long it takes us to get through these permitting processes. Project will likely be phased. I imagine that there'll be maybe 2 or 3 phases that are constructed. And once they start construction, it'll take a few years to get all the homes built. So as I said before, I'm Rick Bush. I work at Kimley Horn. There are comment cards in the back that have all of my contact information on it. If you would like to fill out a comment card and place it in the box, that works just great. If you'd like to email me something, maybe tomorrow from the table when you're collecting your thoughts about what you heard and you have a question, send it to me via email. We like to see what comments we get from everybody and see if we can accommodate reasonable comments that are put forth by our neighbors. Emily Johnson at the City of Ocala will be our planner. Her contact information is up here, so if instead you would prefer to reach out and talk to somebody at the City of Ocala, Emily is your main contact there. And I'll make sure that this stays up at the end of the presentation, so if anybody doesn't have a chance yet to copy it. So